Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at our day 3 qualifier games against Clash and Zero Zone Spain. So we'll just be running through those, giving you guys my thoughts and just going through the meta and what else. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright guys, going into the first game. So the bans for this series with Clash, best of 3. The bans were Amber, Ruffs, Byron and BB. So a bit of a different choice with BB. We decided to try things out because they've got really good BB on their team. BB's so good in this meta. So you can see Sprout is in play on Minecart Madness. So the big number one thing that I did pull off from this game is that they did get first Minecart, in which a lot of the times in Minecart Madness, like, it's not an excuse at all, it's just how the map works. When we face these kind of comps, especially with 8-bit, because 8-bit is such a slow brawler, is so hard to get control with. Normally, if we get a minecart straight away, we can basically spawn trap an 8-bit, but unfortunately they got first minecart, allowed them to get a lot of pressure, and 8-bit could just keep his distance so easily because we're going to get pressured back straight away by the minecart. But anyway, enough talk about that. It's kind of hard to push up now that we're up against like a 6.7k 8-bit. 8-bit actually deals pretty good with Sprout just because of how much range he has, especially when you've got his turret, how much HP he has. Obviously with Pam, we kind of felt like we're going to go like Mr. P or something like that. So Max Pam, really good combination for that. So now after a while, I kind of realized that I weren't going to be winning that 8-bit lane. So made things a little bit too messy. What we should have done, even though 8-bit counters Pam, we should have probably sent Pam over to 8-bit regardless. Nice kill from KC to try and regain us a bit of control. And I somehow worked my way back over to that hand side. So this game just really messy from us, and just completely dominating from Clash. Nothing more really to say. They just dominate from start to finish. Unfortunate because of a little bit of RNG, but nonetheless, yeah, just not even close to that one. Let's hop into the next game. Right guys, jumping into the next game of Minecart Madness, and so straight away we realized that Pam wasn't a great pick. So with the Mr. P, it's good against 8-bit, it's good against Sprout, and you can pick either lanes. So what we didn't do correctly again is that we should have definitely just took the Sprout versus Sprout and then Mr. P on the 8-bit. Something obviously we need to work on all the time, because Sprout, we don't really play too much with Sprout in play. We don't mind facing against it, but we don't play with it too much in play. Normally that is a brawler that is always banned. So nice gadget from Tom there. I think here we decided to switch. Throw the grass in the middle just because Sprout can't get any value out of that. We get a nice kill on 8-bit there, really well played. So we've got some good positioning. We do have minecart, but what we've got, as I said, good positioning. 8-bit is down, he's really slow, taking him a long time to get back up the map. Sprout does have better lane on his side of him because he's obviously got a wall to shoot over, which can be a little bit hard for me, but the Mr. P versus 8-bit lane is going to be way better. Unfortunately, Tom does go down, so we risk a little bit of control. I'll work my way back over to 8-bit because I see that he's in the bush next to us, so what I can do, he's got no turret, I can basically bully him for now. Tom really well playing really good there, getting some good pressure. Does go down, unfortunately, again. 8-bit has got turret, so this is really hard. With 8-bit with the speed and the HP, it can be hard to finish him off. So we literally need one gem here, one gem. But they've got 8-bit turret, they've got a lot of positioning. They've got Sprout with a wall who can block off an entire lane. It's just going to be really hard for us to push back. So normally what we do, we just fall back and wait for the minecart to push them back, and hence is trying to get another gem. But you can see they're all just keeping us really low here. I'll try and get a good wall here, but what this does is just Max and 8-bit just pinches me out in time, and then we've got another minecart coming our way. So we're just having a really tough time of breaking out, trying to get some sort of pressure. Lane doing really well to handle things there. So yeah, nothing really too much here. I nearly actually go down to the gems, to the minecart there. So now we're actually pushing back. They're going to just push back because they've got 10 gems countdown. And now with the gem spawn, we're really hoping for a lucky gem spawn there. If it would have spawned on our side, I reckon 100% we would have picked that up, cancelled the restart again. But that was a much closer game than last time. Again, a little bit unfortunate with the first minecart not going our way. And then at gem spawn, a little bit unlucky, but they played really well. Credit to Clash. Let's hop into the next one. Right guys, so now going into some assembly required. You can see our comp Sprout on some assembly. It's probably like the only map that you can actually use the overgrowth. His overgrowth star power was Sprout, the one with the biggest shot after 5 seconds, because you're not going to get any value out of the shield, unfortunately, on this map. So that's why I'm running that star power. But this one, you can see, is a really weird comp from us because the more generic thing is like either a BB or Jackie, or Sandy and Max, Mr. P, that kind of thing, Jesse. But we just did decide to go with a double thrower Mr. P just because it's a lot of spam and it can be really hard for teams to heal up to gain control. And we've just been having a lot of success with this. Sometimes it can be hard to defend. We need to really, well, we struggle a lot to get the first bot. But if we do fortunately get the first bot, there's basically no way that the enemy team, no matter what, like if you look at things, this is our hardest counter. And you can see how well we push up. So just knowing with the Sandy super, we're going to be sneaking up. I do predict the Sandy coming over, so that pushes us back. What we need to do, we need to go down one lane, force our matchup on one person. You see Case here forcing Guille out. Really well played. And then just leaves Tom and the Max alone. Allows Tom to pick up a lot of bolts, and get the last robot. So really nice kill there from Tom. There's no way, unfortunately, I can't actually contest Guille because he can free shot me without my shield. But I do work my way to getting him down, I think, just there. So nice kill from KC. And now what we have, we are 3 bolts down. So that's a really good position to be in with the final robot. Literally 3 bolts is basically nothing. You can see here, they're literally, they're running away from the robot trying to get some positioning. So again, good focus on the Max, able to take him down. The Sprout pick becoming really valuable here. I'm hitting a lot of shots with the Overgrowth star power. See it bouncing off the wall. Again, managing to kill him with that star power. I'm just kept positioned so well, considering it's literally a Sandy and a Jackie and Max. These brawlers should be countering us. But we played it fantastically. Played it really well. To even come back after losing the first robot, as I said, it's so important for us to get that normally. And we're able to clutch up in the end there. So yeah, nothing more to really say on this. Obviously, we did win this game. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, going into the next game. So really surprisingly here, they've picked Eggon. I'm guessing that's to counter the likes of Sprout, Mr. P, Tick. Eggon's just not really the best in Siege right now. And I've never really seen a team, even in scrims, the amount of scrims we played, bring out an Eggon. So big surprise from Clash here. We have probably got the better combo. What we were thinking, we faced a lot of Daryl in Siege beforehand, and it's really good against Sandy. It's good against squishy brawlers like Mr. P, good against Tick if you can land that roll on time. So double aggression, well, triple aggression here from us. But now they have a Mr. P. The Mr. P and Tick combination is one of the most toxic things in Siege right now. There's just so much spam to deal with. There's so much protection with Tick's gadget with his super, and there's so much protection with Mr. P's porters just constantly coming down 24/7. I can see Tick spamming me out here. They managed to get us pretty much down. Casey doing a really good job to get down Guille. Do manage to get 2 bolts there. Probably shouldn't have rolled it onto Mr. P there. Should have just gone over to the left. I think we still get those bolts. I can't remember. We might have, yeah, I think we lost 1 there. So that can have a big effect if I roll over to the right. That can have a big effect because that 1 bolt could have meant the world of difference. You can see here, I'm collecting 3 more bolts for us for the final round. So looking decent for the final robot, despite everything here. So we need to get good defense. The good thing about Daryl especially is I can do this, keep him all back with my roll, and I can get a lot of damage on the boss. So only 8% dealt by Clash with 7 bolts up. I think we only need 3 bolts to actually win this round. But unfortunately, I think a lack of communication from us all, and Casey goes up without us, which what should have happened, we should have just all triple stacked a lane straight away. Just get 1 lane. If we would have focused on getting 1 lane, we would easily be able to get the last robot. Unfortunately, it just got a little bit too messy. I had a lot of control with the Mr. P porters just raining down on us too much. I nearly managed to get enough bolts. Maybe if there's a couple more seconds left, we would have at least tied that and gave us a bit more of a chance, but literally fine margins between us losing that game. That 1 bolt, which I talked about when I rolled over to the right, if I just held my ground on the left, we could have probably got an extra bolt. You know, those type of things really did make a big difference in this game. Really unfortunate. Definitely should have won this one. Let's hop into the next Siege game. All right, guys, moving into the next Siege game. So it's match point for Clash already. Best of 3. It's a bit of a weird format, and I'm not really a big fan of it at all. I really love the best of 5 series, but because of the Swiss format, it can be good if you get a lot of games in and it's really quick. Best of 3 is always going to be hard against a good team. You got to realize it. Even against a team that you should be beating on paper, so like you can easily outcomp an enemy team 2 games out of 3 in 1 set, and then just like that, imagine if you win the first set, you've got 2 sets to play with. You've got 2 set points. So just thinking about them. But talking about the comp, Mr. P and Tick was just so annoying for us to deal with. We recognised straight away. It's two of the brawlers that we mostly use in scrims all the time anyway. And what I just missed out on saying there, as you see, the lane actually jumped on me as Edgar jumped on me and literally got back control for his whole team through that one kill. They defended that really well. And now what it's been really hard for me to do is push back up. I probably went a little bit too aggro there. Again, I for sure was really frustrated at that. I can just see it. Yeah, should have definitely placed my turret in a more passive position, probably healed up and just got back my lane. But now the problem is my turret's got destroyed straight away. Chaos has his turret and it's just too much protection for me to push him, which just isn't the best. It's not looking good for us at all in this scenario. We do have 3 bolts, they have 2, so it's not the end of the world. If we can somehow gain back control of one lane, then we should be winning this game. They've dealt a lot of damage to our boss, and as you can see, it's so hard to push back on an enemy team when they have position, when they have a Mr. P turret, when they have a Tick just spamming. You know, it is really hard. And you can see Casey having to deal with a Tick head. Jackie's got a good matchup against Edgar, but in the open, Edgar can at least keep his distance. And if Jackie's got no gadgets left, there's like no way that Jackie can actually kill an Edgar because he can just keep his distance. So that's going to be the final game. Clash do take the series a lot closer than it actually looked in the end, but definitely GG's to Clash. They're our biggest competitor right now and played absolutely unbelievably well. Let's hop into the next series. Alright guys, going into this next series then. So as you can see, I'm on max as gem carrier this currently. I forgot to actually mention before, we faced Clash when we were 6-0. So really unfortunate because we still had 3 more rounds to play. And in a 6-0 position, there's still so many teams. There's 1,500 teams. And facing Clash, that really shouldn't have happened so early on. But anyways, moving into this one, we are currently 7-1. So we need to win this series to make it 8-1. And this is Zero Zone Spain. I know all of these players really well. We're a really good team. A lot of them play a lot of ladder. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but I'll say Ali. He did get a 2k Colt with, I think it was with Javi and Chaos. So he's a really good Colt. He's just a really good Spanish player. I've known him from the competitive scene a lot of times. And we knew this was going to be a tough matchup. So talking about comps, Mr. P, Rosa, Max. We probably went a bit of a bad of a combo because normally Sandy works better with a Rosa. And Rosa was just getting countered so hard in this matchup. Rosa's got a Rico to deal with. It's going to be hard to push down that lane. You've got a 8-bit, you've got a Piper. There's a lot of counters to Rosa in this combo. That's probably what they went for. We've got Mr. P that counters the 8-bit and the Rico and the Piper though, so looking pretty good. And the Max. It's just, as I said, hard for Casey to do too much. Piper did break up her own walls, which is probably, yeah, definitely the better play for them. Because now Rosa can't get in behind and stay behind those walls. So now we're in a good position, 7 gems up. The bans as well, I forgot to mention, likely would have been Amber, Byron, Sprout, Ruffs. I think those are 4 normal bans. Yeah, definitely they have to be in the normal bans in this one. 8-bit has got turret though, so again, it's going to be hard for Casey to do too much. He's basically playing gem carrier at the moment with his HP because of how the game's kind of developed. As I've said a lot of times, when your aggro brawler has a gems, it's not the best scenario because now he can't just go up his lane and try and win it and try and make a risky play. He's got all the gems. He can't make risky plays like that. But you can see here, do get some good dodges, but unfortunately get taken down in the end here. But Casey doing an amazing job of keeping him back. He gets those 2 gems and gets out, which is so clutch. Like, unbelievably clutch. Now we have the count. Well, we literally need this 1 gem to stop the countdown. I don't risk it. Wait for the 8-bit to waste his ammo. We managed to stop the countdown there. So here, what we're waiting for is for my max speed. Again, I am using the speedy star power, so all of us can speed together. I think this is the play right there that actually messes Piper up. You can see all of us just speeding onto the Piper. If the Piper just held her jump or jumped quicker, that wouldn't have happened, but we do get a full team wipe. We do manage to take them down. Really well played there. Let's hop into the next game. Right guys, jumping into the next game of Hard Rock Mine. So really important. This is a set point at the moment. They bring out the Poco double tank. We don't see a lot of teams go Poco on this map, to be honest, and especially double tank. What we expected from them is to maybe switch off the Rico because for us it was a bit obvious that Rosa just wasn't working too well. So I thought I'd go Collect. Collect counters a lot, can be still decent against the likes of Mr. P sometimes down the lane if you keep your distance. You know, Collect, you can still be okay on most lanes and just absolutely shreds tanks, and then you've got the 8-bit max combination as well. We'll be a bit more anti-tank on this combo. So, see, I'm actually changed the star power from what I used to use. I used to use the shield, but against tanks specifically, the push it one's still going to be better because obviously you're not going to be dying when you're supering with Colette against a tank for the most part. It's normally like the squishy brawlers like Spike and the ones that deal a lot of damage up close. So what we do here well is communicate that Rose is in the bush. We get her out basically straight away, and our cycle supers really, really well here. It might seem that I'm a complete god in this, but I'm playing Colette, and Colette just destroys Poké Double Tank if played correctly. And you can see here, Casey really, really well played. He's going to wait for all of us to respawn, speed us up. We've got Rose in a bush, so it's here. It's really crucial, again, for me to go aggro. And 2 shots in that 8-bit turret basically wipes her full HP. Literally got deleted. So really well played from us, because he basically got every single gem. And that's how you want to play it. You just want to make sure you're pinching everyone out. They've got 2 aggro brawlers, which do really well in Minecart. And Hard Rock Mine, but we play it absolutely perfectly there. Let's move on to the next set. Alright guys, moving on to the next set. So this is a bot drop, and both teams I think running the same combination. The thing about bot drop, we'll say straight away, is that it can be a little bit risky in getting all 3 robots, and the first one is the most crucial one. If you get the first one, you should be really winning the game because you can keep the control. So I think here we actually tie things, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we just managed to tie things. So this isn't the best scenario to be in. What we should have probably done in this scenario, what we've learned from looking back at things, I think is try and collect a few bolts, but in the end, let them have the robot, because it's going to be really hard to get every single bolt on the last robot. Basically, in a mirror combo, max Pam, it can be hard to completely dominate the enemies when there's just so much healing from the Pam turret. There's so much chip damage from everywhere. There's no real brawler to take someone down as quick as possible. But you can see here, Casey doing a really good job. I do get taken down there, probably overextended it a little bit. And we had really good control, but now what is happening is that I go down, and they're just getting a lot of bolts for that last robot. We do push back up. We do get, I think, 3 bolts here for the last round, which can be pretty good for us. We're only 4 bolts down going into the final robot, but again, with this combo, they can just absolutely shred that robot. You can see how fast that is actually going down. But not even had to use Pam turret at all, but we do use it in the end there. Literally all of them full HP basically by the end of this, and they're just going to push straight back up. So 4% dealt to the Ike, and now you can see with the max speed, Tom goes really, really low here. I think gets taken down by the max, and what this enables them to do is 20 seconds, basically like another 10 seconds for me and Casey to try and survive a 2v3, which really isn't going to happen because of how much control they have. And they just get the last robot, and with the last robot, you can go all in. You can basically suicide to get that damage because it's the last one. There's no other damage that's going to be dealt on within the game here. So they just played it really well, playing for that last robot, which we should have definitely done. We've definitely noticed that. Of course, bot drops a new competitive map, and we've not played it literally at all in competitive. So they played it really well. They managed to win that siege game. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into the next siege game. So what we realized straight away is that Colette is really good on this map and can be a good counter to Pam. So we went Colette, and as you can see, it worked off really well here. Straight away, getting Pam down, 3 shots, and she's dead, which is an amazing control from us. They do get 1 bolt, but we're going to be getting basically all the other ones. So it's all about that early pressure, and what we had to constantly do as well, if you're wondering about what our VCs kind of sound like in these games, we want to be getting the matchups always within certain games in competitive. You know which brawlers you counter the most, and of course you want to be focusing those brawlers. So for me, Pam is a big beefy character. She has a lot of HP, so Colette absolutely wrecks those higher HP brawlers. So for us, it was focusing on where that Pam was, get me on the Pam straight away, because I'm going to be absolutely shredding her. Miss P does good to come over and get a little bit of control back, and again we are switching where we're at. It can be hard though when they're sitting in the Ike. I can't really super any of them. They do really well to focus me and get me down. Probably should have played a little bit more passive, but again, what they're trying to do is allow us to get this robot. But you can see they're literally delaying and then picking up the bolts for the final robot, and they've got all the control of the middle, and they're just going to be getting a huge push for that last robot. It's really unfortunate that we kind of didn't see this in game. but at least we're learning from some of our errors. Of course, you can't always play at the best of your abilities. Just good we learned from this. So we did get a little bit of damage, so now we need to do a huge hold. 6 bolts here. They have a max speed to get them straight back up. I do try and get that last one, but they do really well of getting that bolt there. Again, another bolt to their advantage. It just seemed like they had all the pressure in the world. Max speed after max speed just gets them so much control, and we just can't get it. So they only need 20% to finish it off, and with our combo there's not really too much that we're going to be able to do. I'll try and stay alive for as long as possible here, try and buy a little bit of time, and if I can pick off a kill, then maybe we can defend this. So this is what I'm trying to do. I do get my super. We need to defend as high as possible to try and melt this robot as quickly as possible. I don't get a good connection on my super. Maybe if I killed Pam there, we could have maybe done something, but it's pretty much GG's there. So we do lose that siege set 2-0. Let's hop into the final set. Alright guys, going into the first game of the final set then. So as I've mentioned before, this is so important for the tiebreakers. So a lot of teams, 30 teams are going to be stuck on 8-1, and already it was going to be hard for us to really know whether we're going to be winning that tiebreaker because of the bad situation. But yeah, trying to stay away from the unfortunate side of those things. We just have to try and focus and win this game, because obviously if we lose this one, we give ourselves no way of even having a chance to qualify. So you can see here, Mr. P really does overextend here. As I always say in Bounty, you never want to go for a kill unless you basically know you're going to either get your enemies to trade you out, if you're going to get a kill and stay out alive. We can see here with the nanny gadget, if you watch that, if you didn't see it, watch it back, because that was insane. A lot of people, I really love that play. So what I did there, Piper had her gadget selected, and she tried to get value out of the gadget. So I knew she had ambush. She would go back into the bush. So I waited for her to use that, baited her out, and just pressed the gadget really quick and killed her. So that was just a quick, smart play from me. As you can see here, it allows me to get my super as well, which just from knowing things, I can't go for the tick because tick has gadget. I think I go over here to watching the tick head. I circulate around, just Mr. P, and go for the Piper instead of a tick, because I know the tick can counter it with his gadget. So another nice kill from me. We do get the lead from that one. So cycling the tick heads is very important, because it makes you charge the next, or tick head did I say? I mean nanny head. It makes you get the nanny head much quicker. Casey and Tom is just really just a chip down fest. They just need to wait for an enemy to make a mistake with Mr. P or Tick. Piper does waste a gadget there. Tick's head is going to take down the Mr. P, giving us a good lead, and believe I do get a nice snipe on that Tick as well. So I'm playing really good as nanny right now. A lot of times it can be hard to play against this kind of combo. So again, I'm just going to be patient, try and get that Piper down. I can't get a Tick, and Mr. P's just got a little bit too much HP when I first used my nanny head, but that's going to be a really convincing win for us. Let's hop into the next one. Right guys, moving into the next game. So they actually went with a really risky combination. Like we go this quite a few times, well, like the Max Pam combo, but didn't expect these guys to just kind of go that straight away, because it is really risky to bring this out. You don't know what we're going to be changing to. So Max is going to get really good pressure on all three of us. Max is a really good counter to Nanny, because Max can dash into Nanny heads. Max is just really fast, can be hard to always hit shots. As you know, Nanny's shots are really hard to hit anyways, but with a max speed, with his with her agility, what else, it can be really hard. You've got Pam against Mr. P. Pam does counter Mr. P because of just the amount of HP Pam has, the amount of damage she can do with the turret. As you can see here, I didn't even really have a chance to move my Peep because Max just straight away dashed into it. So really well played from him. I do overextend a little bit. I didn't expect Max to hit as many shots, so it's definitely an error on my part. Should have just tried to chip around the wall. But kind of, it was a blessing in disguise because they all fell back. Again, Max can just keep the pressure in the mid, and he's playing it really well. I said this before, that this guy was a really good player. As I said, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but he's definitely a known player within the community. So again, here we've got Max Speeder playing it really patient, not just running straight at us. And Pam is low on HP, nearly managed to take her down here, but what I do say is we need to just try and be patient. You know, we've got 30 seconds left, 1 star down. It's not going to be the end of the world. We've still got a lot of time. Tom here, nearly caught in a sticky situation. They have got max speed and a gene pull, so they're going to line up a pull here. Really nice pull from Jamie there. I think that's how I said it. Again, I've got to butcher these names, but I do get pulled. So that is me making 2 errors. unfortunately. But I have got Nanny Head. I do go up the field a little bit just to buy me a little bit more time. And I cycle it perfectly and try and wiggle it around and get it towards the Gene and take him down, because I know we have Blue Star and we're able to clutch up. So just from that play, just from the call out from someone to say that even Gene is enough to kill, we do manage to clutch that up. So in the end, after a few errors that game, I did manage to clutch it up and get us the 8-1 in the end. Wasn't enough, unfortunately, because of the 30 or so teams in a tiebreaker, basically making it a lottery. So yeah, just really unfortunate circumstances. This qualifiers, you can see, we clearly played well as a team, not really doing too much. I've already recognized what mistakes we made, how we can improve. So going into things, it's looking good. It's looking good for sure. But that's going to be the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.